Hi, my name is Mel and I'm a full-time eBay seller here in Australia. Now today is Monday and I've just come into my storage shed because I've got a lot of books to deal with that I picked up over the weekend. Now all these books behind me I picked up on Saturday and Sunday. Some of these books I paid for and some of them I got for free. Now the majority of these books have been sight unseen and I don't even know what's in the boxes. I have just bought the whole collection of people's books. Now I've paid $460 for this huge haul, and that might seem like a lot of money to you, but I'm expecting there to be at least 700 to 800 books in here. So when you think about it, it means I'm getting about 50 cents per book. Now, when I buy hauls like this that have come from people's home collection, I really find that it's best to open up all the haul at once. If I just go through box by box, then I might be missing books that are parts of sets or a bundle that are in other boxes. So today's a busy day for me because I've got a lot of orders to pick and pack and ship today. But this really needs my attention. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull all the books out onto a table and I'm going to count the books so I roughly know how much I've paid for each book. The next step for me is to sort the books. So I'm going to sort them into piles of the fiction, the non-fiction and books that are part of a set. Now I'd really like to get a couple hundred of these books price comped today, and I'd also like to get at least 100 books photographed ready to be sent off to my virtual assistant. I am going to stay in this shed now until about 1 p.m. and then after 1 o'clock I'm going to go home, get some lunch, I'm going to print out all my weekend orders, then I'm going to come back here, pick and pack my weekend orders and drop them off to the post office, and then I'm going to start back here photographing. So basically my morning here before lunch is going to be spent sorting these books and price comping. Righto, I'm going to get started. I'm excited to see what I've got. Once again, it's like one big lucky dip. So here's the deal. I've pulled out a lot of them onto the tables here. I've still got a lot down here on the ground. Now the ones that are down here on the ground, I can see that they're all by similar authors or they're not by the same authors that I've already put on the table. So there's a lot of fiction in here and a lot of it will be sold individually for low-end prices. This is not a high-end haul and a lot of the books are in pretty average condition. A lot of these books are not the type of books I would tell you to pick up if you were cherry picking. They are okay for me because I'm doing volume, but if you only have a small store and you've only got a couple hundred books, these are not type books that you generally probably want to pick up. There will be some exceptions and some of these books are really old, but like this is an old looking set thing, but it's also a set. So the old vintage kind of small paperbacks can sell quite well if they are in a set. and they are in poor condition. It's the same as this one. It looks like it's horrible conditioned books, but they are an author that I'm not sure about. I've never sold him. So before discarding or ruling these out, they will certainly be price comped. But there are a few that you just know straight away, like this one here, Tom Clancy. I mean, this book is in absolute rubbish condition, and that will just need to go into the recycle bin. I don't think that would be worth even selling. Even though there's a few Tom Clancy's there, I don't think Tom Clancy is worth enough to be bundling up in that type of condition. Now, I've got some Nora down here. I've got some John Grisham and another couple of authors that are the same in that box. This box is quite interesting. There's a lot of old vintage war fiction in here by a guy that's called Leo Kessler. Now, he's a new name to me. I haven't sold him before, but there's quite a lot of them in here that are like a set. So I think they will probably be worth some money. So I'm just going to set them aside and do those all at once. And over in the end here, these books are a lot about like traveling Australia, being in a caravan and a camper van, maps and tracks for going, like almost like for grey nomads. So those books I'll leave and do all in a chunk together. And this box is full of James Patterson. I've got a little bit more James Patterson up there on the shelf. I'll leave him and do him as a set, all the James Patterson at once. James Patterson is a bit of a hard one. He has huge collections of books. Some of them he has like 20 books in a set. So, and some of them are just individual crime thrillers. So you really have to make sure you match them up. If you're selling them as a lot, you have to make sure you match them up as part of the right set. He's not really one that I actually pay for and buy anymore. However, if I get him in a haul for cheap enough, then I'll take him, but I don't actively search for James Patterson anymore. So yeah, you can see I've got a mess going on in here. I'm going to work my way through this now, and then I'll be able to make room for everything on the floor. Okay, I'm done sorting the entire haul. So it ended up that there was about 641 or 42 books, and I worked it out on average. That makes $460 for the haul, 640 books, worked out to be about 71 cents each. So that's pretty good. I like to keep the books under $1 on average. So I prefer 50 cents, but I'll take I'll take 70 cents. What would I rate that haul? I would probably rate that haul 5 out of 10. There was a lot of books in it that are only like acceptable condition. They're a little bit tatty. You know, some people would probably put them as good, but I'm going to put those at acceptable because I don't want any to come back to me with a item not as described. So most of the time I actually mark my books down a grade just because it allows for a little bit of roughing if they get roughed up on my shelves or in the packaging. So most of the time I only put good on my books, even if they are actually very good. And these ones a lot of them I'm only going to put acceptable on. There was quite a lot of bundles. And I really do think that you know, it's still a great haul profit-wise. I'm still going to make a lot of profit-wise. But in terms of the actual book condition and the types of books, I would probably mark that haul about 5 out of 10. But still lots of profit for me to be made. I'm buggered. Okay, so what I've done is I have sorted all those books today. I have picked and packed all my orders. I have just price comped 100 books and photographed 100 books. So when I get home, I'm going to transfer those 100 images to the virtual assistant, and she'll have those listed before I wake up tomorrow morning. Now, I also already have listed 20 items this morning when I was having my morning coffee. I listed 20 of the bundles this morning, and the virtual assistant will list 100 individual books tonight. So I've got books everywhere in my room here all ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a day of photographing, putting things away, sorting through things and reorganizing shelves. I really need a full day where I'm just in here, no video, no shipping, just simply like photographing and putting stuff away. But yeah, as you can see here, I've got all these orders. I left all my blue bags at home, so they're all piled up, and I'm really hoping that I might have a few extra ones in the boot of my car, because otherwise that's going to be a nightmare when I get to the post office. If you want to learn more about selling on eBay and how hard this poor mama works, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow along for my journey.